Tēnā koutou katoa. Kei te pehea koutou. How are you guys doing? Alright, today we are doing 2 achievement objectives. 1.2, introduce themselves and others and respond to introductions. And 1.4, communicate about personal information such as name and home. So there are 2 key sentences that we're going to be learning. The contents can be changed, but the structure is the same. So first one is ko Wiremu taku ingoa, which means my name is Wiremu. And Kei tāmaki makaurau taku kāinga, which means my home is in Auckland. Right, let's go over the first grammar. Structure is at the top. Ko, name, personal proper nouns. Taku ingoa. Now, taku means my. Ingoa means name. When you have ko sentence starter, so a sentence starting with ko, it's a definitive phrase. So meaning that you're talking about something specific rather than something, talking about something. For example, in English, it will be differences between a and the. So, let's go over the first example. Ko mere taku ingoa. It's just saying, mere is my name. Ko Wiremu taku ingoa, which means Wiremu is my name. Ko tipene taku ingoa. Tipene is my name. And lastly, ko Matthew taku ingoa. Matthew is my name. Obviously, in the name, you don't have to have Māori names. You can have any non-Māori name there. Alright, and here's the grammar for the second sentence. Kei, place, taku, kāinga. Remember, taku from the above example is my. Kāinga is home. Now, place can be anywhere, basically. So you have Ōtara, Mangere, Takapuna, and Henderson. Kei usually refers to at. Alright. Let's look at the first example. Kei Ōtara taku kāinga, which means my home is in Ōtara. Now, note that it means at, but it means the same thing. When you're translating between the languages, you can't take word for word because it just doesn't work that way. Grammatical rules are quite different between English and Māori. Next one, Kei Mangere taku kāinga, which means Mangere is my home. Kei Takapuna taku kāinga, which means Takapuna is my home. And lastly, Kei Henderson taku kāinga, Henderson is my home. You may have seen this in other forms, such as taku or toku. Now, we're not learning this at the moment, but you can be specific between a and all categories. Taku is neutral, so you can use it for a or category. So, if you don't know it, just stick with taku. I guess now we know the answers, we need to know the questioning, the asking part. So the first one here, Kei hea tō kāinga. Kei, as I said, means at. Hea means where. It's kind of easy to remember. Tō means your. And kāinga means home. So, if you directly translate it, it's saying where at your home. But we don't do that. The meaning is, where is your home? And you answer with Kei Mangere taku kāinga, which means Mangere is my home. Fairly easy. Again, if you know the structure, you just need to substitute necessary words. For example, you replace the here, where, with the place name, which is Mangere. Instead of saying your, tō, you say my. And this stays the same because it's talking about home. Same as Kei. Kapai. And here's the other one, asking and answering the name part. So, asking a question is, ko wai tō ingoa. Remember, ko is a definitive sentence or phrase. So you're talking about a specific thing. Wai means what. Tō means your. Ingoa means name. So this sentence, ko wai tō ingoa, means, what's your name? What is your name? And you answer how you've learned before. Ko Wiremu taku ingoa. William is my name. Ko doesn't specifically mean is, but it can be translated like that. Because ko and he sentences is basically is or are. Lastly, we have this in the curriculum, and this is also included as well as in part of the tips, which I find it confusing, but here we are. So this is asking where someone is from. The questioning part is no hea koe. From where are you? Meaning, where are you from? No means like from where. So when you see a sentence starting with no, you straight away know that the question is about where from. Here means where again, and koe means you, where you're from. And instead of saying where your home is, where your house is, you usually say where you're originally from. So if you're born within Aotearoa, you would say the city's names or town's names. So for example, it'll be no Taranaki ahau. I'm from Taranaki. But if you're from outside of Aotearoa, from my understanding, you say the country's name. For example, no Hapani ahau, which means I'm from Japan. Kapai. I hope you learned something new today, and I hope you have the confidence to teach this unit by knowing the grammatical rules. And karawhiua, give it a go, and ka kite anō. See you in the next video.